I'm Amy Rodrigues, and I am filming for the Canine Chronicle. We're doing our segment called Time Will Tell, and we have the one and only Mr. James Moses, Jimmy Moses. And the special is about historians in the sport of dogs. And who is more of a historian in the sport of dogs than Mr. Moses? He's a living legend. And if you don't know who he is, we're going to give you a little sneak peek right now. He's going to answer 2 questions for us, and maybe I can convince him to give me some time on a Zoom call, and you can learn more about Mr. Moses. But this is Time Will Tell, and it's going back to when you started in dogs, and the difference in dog shows back then versus now. My first question for you is, how did you get started in dogs?
Well, I always loved dogs. My mother rode miniature poodles, and that was some of my first experiences.
Miniature poodles?
Yes.
After all your history in shepherds?
Yeah. Well, my first busting show was with a miniature poodle.
Really?
Yeah.
What was that dog's name?
Star. Glad Rose was Star. That was her.
How old were you?
15.
Wow.
And I couldn't drive yet, but I did shortly thereafter. And if it wasn't, there was so much effort in doing. Back in the day, there was so much larger participation as far as at the breed level. 100 German Shepherds would not be an overly big entry at a dog show.
And now what's the entry in German Shepherds?
You're lucky if it averages 8 or 10.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
What do you contribute that to?
Too many dog shows and a lot of other allowing so many dog shows to be held in the same venue. If people don't live right around that one particular area, they never get to see a dog show, and that's how we get so many other people, interested in shows. 30 years ago, 35 years ago, when you showed in Florida, you went down one coast. Every day we changed a different city. Maybe either an armory or out in the park.
So we have clusters all in one location, and it used to be moving.
Yeah.
See, I remember when I was a kid in California, when we went to dog shows, I was an assistant, and we helped every professional handler pack up their stuff while we moved to the next show.
Sure.
It was just like sportsmanship.
In that locale, if they were just out on a Sunday drive or Saturday afternoon, they'd see a dog show and say, oh, that's great, and stop and get interested. And every year I'd make some puppy sales just in the state of Florida from people that drove by. Like, Brooksville's really off the beaten path. So if you don't know a reason to go down that road, you'd never know there was a dog show.
Dog show there. I don't know if you guys know, but I believe Mr. Moses holds a record for the most best in shows won by a professional handler.
I don't know if I know I've won.
I think you've won
well
more
over
than
1,000, but
I think he's won the most of anybody in the sport of dogs. I think.
Yeah, I don't know if people even keep those records, but I've been very lucky and fortunate to have handled some really truly wonderful dogs.
Amazing careers. You've been a legend to definitely watch.
I think what was interesting is back in the day, and 30 years ago, your average for a dog with 100 best in shows, you have 150,000 points. It's not the same today. I think the average best in show may be closer to 70.
I think this dog show even is like a 600-700 dog entry, and there's maybe 400 to 500 dogs that are actually here.
I'm not an authority on it, but I do know there's a lot more dog shows today than there used to be. We were lucky if 75-80% of the shows were Saturday and Sunday only. It was a big deal if there was a Friday show. We'd all go there because we figured, well, we'd make an extra day paid.
And now there's Wednesday, Thursday, too many days. I 100% agree with you.
Lessons the competition.
I definitely agree with you. One funny story about your beginning in dogs. What was something that happened that was back in the day that doesn't necessarily happen now?
When I was 14, I worked for Tom Lewis. He was a trainer for the Air Force. And I think the second dog show he took me to, his wife had me enter in a junior showmanship, which I had no earthly idea what it was. And I was kind of big for my age, and my friends always rode with them. And I won a class of a half a dozen, and I won one of those great big suckers. And any of my friends that were still alive today, for men, whenever they see me, they ask if, hey, Mo, did you win any more suckers? So that's something I never forgot. I remember.
Well, thank you for your time,
My
Jimmy.
pleasure.
Hopefully we get a Zoom video with you and ask even more
My
questions
pleasure. My
because.
pleasure. Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.